Howdy guys, this is Luke at Geekgaming Scenics. In this video, we're going to talk about why I think One Page Rules is literally the best proxy miniature company out there at the moment. So I'll catch you after this. This video is sponsored by One Page Rules. So guys, you've seen over the last, 2 years now, I think I've done about 8 videos for them. This could be the 9th. We've done an awful lot with One Page Rules, whether it be building theme tables with their terrain around their army release that month. You've seen me print like Tomb King-esque full 3D printed armies because obviously their models are very expensive and hard to get hold of, so you can proxy an army like that using One Page Rules. You've even seen me 3D print what One Page Rules has to offer on a very basic printer that you can pick up for around £100. And they come out very nice and very, very acceptable. And this is why I really like One Page Rules, because it fits into my old ethos about it's affordable, it's very accessible, but they also offer a lot more than I've actually spoke about in videos before. And this is why I want to do this video, because there's things that I've never spoke about, which I think I really need to speak about. Now, the first thing that I like about One Page Rules is, you know me, I'm more of a gamer than an actual painter, but the fact that you can print your model off, you can literally put a few base coats on with contrast paints or even just slapping some normal paint on there, chucking a wash on, a little bit of a dry brush, and the models look great. Now, the reason for this is they're not overly detailed. There's enough detail on there so when you've got an army put together, they look mint, and that's what I look for when I'm doing armies. I don't want these over-exaggerated models that take forever to paint and missing stuff, because it just slows you down. And for me, painting loads of details when you've got an army to paint, it's mind-numbing. Models that they do, the detail just enough and they look great when you're playing them as an army, and they do that perfectly. And what this also means is, because they're not overly detailed, when you want to shrink the models for smaller scale games, whether you want to play One Page Rules on a coffee table, or you want to play War Master, or you want to play your small scale Kings of War, or whatever you want to do, because they're not overly detailed, you can shrink them. Now, I got the Monk Priest that I painted, and I scaled him down to 15mm, 10mm, and 6mm. Surprisingly, the 6mm one printed very well, and I wasn't expecting it to, because you're getting a 28mm model and shrinking it down. That means all them like little spikes and stuff, they're going to be very, very tiny. They're printed off, and I think you can hold that too, that they're very heroic of the models. They're quite chunky, the heads are big, the hands are quite big, and when you shrink them down, they really fit that small scale. And the fact that once I actually found that the 10mm was perfect for what I wanted, and I 3D printed them, they've come out great. Now, when you're doing your small scale stuff and you're shrinking them down, you are best re-supporting them, because when you've got the contacts of the supports, if you shrink the supported models down, the supports get smaller to the point where you shrink them down that much that the contact point is going to be too tiny. So always re-support this when you're shrinking stuff down. If you're going bigger, it's not too bad, but going smaller, always re-support. And I just used auto supports and they work well. But this gets me onto the other reason that I've never ever spoke about One Page Rules. Now, when you normally get models from companies, you normally get them in multi-part, or you'll only get combined models. You'll get it how they want you to get the models. One Page Rules just offer it all. So you can get supported, unsupported, you can get them in bits, you can get them combined so you don't have to build them. And it's absolutely amazing, because what's good about that is they offer enough sculpts that you don't need to change your weapon loadouts and stuff, but if you want to go for something a bit different, you can 3D print extra parts and build your models in a way that you want to do. I hate building, so I'll quite happily build them combined. But the fact that they offer that is an absolute game changer. More companies need to do that, because it's put me off buying a lot of models, because I'll look at it and go, right, that's cool. You'll download them, and then when you've got to find the parts, put all the parts in, 3D print them in bits, I absolutely hate it. I'd rather just print the combined models, and if there's 3, 5 or 6 sculpts, I'm happy. Because when you're doing like hordes and stuff, 3 to 5 models is more than enough to get that difference across your army if you need it. But the best thing is the fact that they offer part models as well, so if you want to add a bit of difference or put a couple of different poses in or different weapon choices in areas so it doesn't look all a bit the same, you can do that. They give you the options, and that is the main reason why I really like one-page rules, and I've never spoke about that. And if you didn't know that, I hope that really helps you decide whether you want to use them or not, because that option's great, especially if you're shrinking them down. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, guys, is the affordability of it. Now, we all play games, we all play many different game systems and things. Sometimes you have this idea for an army when you're looking through the rules and you think, I'd really love to play that. And then you start pricing it up and you go, it's going to be very expensive to do. I've always wanted to do a massive horde army of like zombies. And it's always put me off because I'd have to buy all the boxes, I'd have to build them all. And it's expensive just to have that 1 or 2 games that's a bit of a laugh, right? Whereas when you've got companies like One Page Rules, and it's the affordability of it is you can have a cheap printer and you can literally print the models at a couple of pence a model. You can literally try them army combinations out that you wouldn't normally try because of the expense, or if it's just ridiculous, so why would you spend that money on it? When you get into home 3D printing, you can do them things, and it still costs, but it doesn't cost you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds to do it. You could literally just do it with a 20 quid bottle of resin and print off hundreds of zombies and try that Legion army that you've always wanted to try. 3D printing is where this hobby's going. And the one thing that I find quite restricting with Wargaming is if you want to try a new model out or something like that, it can be quite expensive just to try it out and then realize you don't like it. Whereas with this, when you 3D print your stuff, you can print that model that you really want to try. You can 3D print it or 3D print thousands of them and try them stupid army lists that you just think will be hilarious to run. And it's not going to cost you an absolute fortune. Yeah, there's some time involved, but it improves creativity because you're not restricted by 200, 300, 400 pounds worth of models. You can just literally 3D print them at home for a bottle or 2 of resin and try them out. And if it improves your creativity and it's not costing you a lot of money, and the fact that you don't have to source all the models, you can literally just print them off, and as you print them you can be painting. It's just perfect, and I'm happy to work with One Page Rules whenever. I honestly think that what they offer now, and especially how long they've been going, their back catalogue of sci-fi models, fantasy models is just absolutely massive. And if you want to try something, you can definitely find it on there. And it's as little as £10 a month. And if you signed up, you've even got access to all the back catalogue that you can buy at a reduced rate as well. So check them out, guys, because they really do make an awesome wargaming product for proxying or even playing their own games. Their own games are great. They're free. You can download them and try them out. And if you want to support them on that side, you can get some extra bits off them for as little as a few pounds a month. They're doing it right, and I hope more companies lead as well, because the more we get like this, the better it's just going to get. But anyway, guys, I hope you've liked this video. The small scale stuff has just really got my juices flowing. I think over Christmas I'm going to sit and paint some tiny rats. I'm really looking forward to doing that. But I've had a good year. It's been a hard year, but I'm really looking forward to the new year, guys. And I'm very looking forward to getting some more terrain builds on and really cracking it down next year and getting back into what we all enjoy. So guys, don't forget to check out all the links to One Page Rules below. Show your support, because with companies like this, Wargaming is just amazing. But anyway, guys, I'll see you for the next video. Love, love, love.